Yes, good morning, students, and welcome to the class of SAP. Good morning, Nagraj sir, and a warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Very good morning.
Yes, you may please start the sessions.
Sure, madam. Yeah. So yesterday I could, good morning each and everyone. So yesterday I could see some people requesting for the practical side of SAP. They were asking me as to when we are going to start that. So today is the day where we are going to start looking at the SAP system. And probably in the second half, we will also try to look at the finance side of it. Like say yesterday, we discussed a few components of the finance module. And we also, just to have a quick recap, I'm not going to talk about all the topics which we have done, but the main thing, what we were trying to discuss, whenever you start, whenever you want to work on the SAP system, what you need to do is, first and the foremost, you need to have this. I think probably you may have to wait for this credentials. Do not be in a hurry. Do not worry. You will be getting it in a very short time. Now you have your SAP system credentials. So I showed you a couple of times where I opened my SAP system. What is an SAP system? It is nothing but the project system allotted to you. Clear? Nothing more than that. If I'm working on n number of projects, so each project would have allotted or would have allocated some kind of a SAP system for me, which I need to bring it onto my laptop or onto my desktop and accordingly log into that particular credentials. So for that, I would have to have the system details. What is the SAP system details? I need to bring it on to my system, to my laptop or onto my desktop. And in addition to the SAP system, you also need to have your own credentials. So each one of the SAP system user would be given different user IDs and unique passwords. And as I have always said, please be very careful as to these particular details. So in the process, we also learned what is a client. What is a client? It is nothing but a logical space within the SAP system given for a specific user. So I entered something called as 900. When you could initially see me logging on, you will see it again because we will be all the theory now will be moving on to our live SAP system. And you have your own user ID and a password. These passwords are case sensitive, meaning if at all you are making use of the capital letters, please ensure that you should remember that. So I suggest whenever in the initial period of your SAP learning, please write it down somewhere. Okay, and then try to, because once and in addition, once you log in, once when you try to log into the SAP system with the wrong password, not more than 3 times, there is a process or there is something called as the system gets locked. Okay, the system gets locked. So what you need to do, you will not be authorized. Now I will start using the typical SAP terms, you will not be given the access or the power or the authorization for you to change the password. No doubt it is your user ID, but some of the transactions, what is a transaction? I'll explain that. So whenever you need to change your password after having entered 3 erroneous passwords, you will have to write a mail to your system admin. So he will be the only person having the access to reset your password, nobody else. And this in the live project scenario may take time because the system admin won't be having only this kind of jobs. He will be having various other sensitive jobs to attend to and more important jobs to attend to. So you will never know as to when your password will be released or it will be refreshed. Okay, but make sure that you do not enter the wrong password more than thrice. So once you enter the wrong password the third time, the system gets locked. Clear? So that is how the system works. And please make sure that whenever you use the capital letters in your password, you will have to enter it in the same way because it is case sensitive. Small letters have to be in small, capital letters have to be in caps. Okay, now we also spoke about something called as your company code. We discussed something called as your org structure or your organizational structure. And you can also see as far as our learning, our course is concerned, we are going to talk more about the company code only. Because this is one of the most integral part of your finance module and also forms the base for the other modules to work or to create their own organizational structure. So I gave you an example of a plant being created by the PP or by the MM people. On what are they going to create the plant? What is a plant, by the way, in SAP? It is nothing but your production area. Yesterday, I showed you the theory explanation of what is a plant, what is a client, what is a company code, right? So we have been through all this. So I would not want to spend much time unless and until you have some, you come up with questions. I would not want to elaborate more on this. All right. So we also spoke about some things like what are the components, what we are going to likely to look at as far as our finance module is concerned. But even before we get into the finance side of SAP, we are going to understand what this is all about. What is the end user screen? What is a customizing screen? Who uses what kind of a screen? Correct? So, so we'll come back to this. We'll definitely come back to the finance side of SAP once we do this. And where do you find this in your course content? This topic I'm referring to this portion of your topic. Just a moment, I'll open the course content also. I'll be sharing that. This is your second topic in your course content. So yesterday, I think Janavi madam, she has given you insight as to how you need to open up your course content. Okay, and it would be very nice if you could squeeze in some time in your busy schedule. I know your exams are coming up. Just have, whenever you find some time, just open up this particular study content and try to read them. Okay. So in the meantime, I'll just open the study content. Just hold on. So I have opened up the course content for you people. Okay. And I think yesterday you were also taken into how you need to enter, what you need to do to get hold of this particular course content. Okay, you were taken through. Now we have finished with the SAP ERP. Now we will get into the second topic, SAP ERP navigation. So you can see the, simply click on this particular button. Okay, click on this and it will take you into the topic. So you have audio visual help also for each and every page of this particular course content. For each and every page, you will be having the audio support also. If you do not, you can mute. Where is this audio switch on and off? It is here. And it could be at the bottom of the screen in your this one, but you can. But all I wanted to tell you is there is a place where you can switch on or switch off the audio. So as I said, so I am in the second topic. I'm in page number 22, as you can see. Now, to actually get into each and every page of this particular topic, I move forward by clicking on the single right arrow. So as I said, every topic will start with an objective. That is why you need to actually go through this topic, the purpose. All right. Click again, it will take you to the next page. Now, this probably you would be very familiar with. I will take you to my system. Okay, I will log in. Before that, I will share my screen. So I will be sharing from the initial step. If you want, I can go back also. That should not be a problem. So I will be clicking on this, double clicking on this particular GUI on this icon. Double click. So there were three things which I said. One is the GUI, which I have double clicked. The second one is the SAP system credentials. So assuming that I'm working on this project 1 and project 2, I would be given the requisite system details. You also would be getting, whenever your system IDs are released, you will also be getting the requisite instructions as to, and information as regards which SAP system you need to log in. And for people who have already had experience working on the SAP system, you do not have to bring in this particular launchpad again. It is a one-time activity only. You do not have to reinstall this. Once it is done, it is done. That's it. You can, under this particular GUI, you can bring in any number of systems. Not a problem. All right. Now, this also, I can enter into any one of the systems, but for our learning purposes, we will get into the ER2 SAP system. Clear? Two ways of entering into the system. I highlight this and double click on this particular line, or I highlight this and go to the log on option here down right where I am moving the cursor. Clear? Any one of the methods. So I'll double click here. This is the place ER2. I can click anywhere on this line. Double click. Now it takes me inside the SAP system. Clear? So here I give the relevant information. The client. I have been given access to work on client 900. Can you see the 900 below? Okay. So you have various other clients. So I don't know if each one of you will get the same space to work, or it could be different. Clients could be different. User, I enter my user ID and I enter the password. The password could be, it could be numeric, it could be alphabetic, it could be alphanumeric. You can use anything. Okay, but be careful when you use the capital letters in your password. Okay, as I said, it is case sensitive. And again, I'm going to repeat. Once when you give the wrong password for 3 times, the system gets locked. And you will not be having the permissions or the authorizations to re-enter your password. Clear? I give my password and I can press the enter key on my laptop or on my desktop, or alternatively, I can also make use of this bold, which is equivalent to your enter key. So I'll click on this. So now it is going to take me into the system. Now, can you see on the first line in the center of the screen, SAP Easy Access? What is this easy access? So every SAP system, whichever SAP system you open across the globe, it will always open to you in the easy access mode only. Now, what is this easy access mode? This is this place where the users enter their data. Suppose I want to enter a journal voucher. I want to enter a customer invoice, a vendor invoice, a customer receipt, a vendor payment, an asset capitalization, an asset depreciation. So this is the place where the end users spend all their time. Most of the times they spend here. All right. Now, just hold on. So this is how your easy access menu will look like. I am still in the easy access. So what did I do? I simply clicked on the SAP menu. Earlier it was in the user menu. Now I've clicked on the SAP menu. Now, if you remember, 1 or 2 sessions ago, I had told that once the user opens the screen in SAP, can the user enter the journal voucher, the customer invoice, the vendor invoice, whatever transaction in this place, in only one place? No. In SAP, you have different places where you need to carry out different functions. Now I will take you through the navigation within the easy access, because I wanted you to understand that how you would want to retrieve the place where you would want to enter certain activity. I hope I'm clear. Now I want to enter a journal voucher. As an end user, I want to enter the journal voucher. Where do I go? Can you see the accounting here? And there is a right arrow. And there is an arrow pointing right. I click on that arrow. See, it points down and opens up all the options available for me within the accounting option. Now I would go to financial accounting, the first option. Now I click on the general ledger. I go to document entry. Now what is a document entry? I will get into all these technicalities a little later. Now, what was the purpose I entered here? I came here. I wanted to enter a journal voucher. I will click on the right arrow. Can you see enter GL account document? Now I have no other arrow marks. Can you see? I simply have to click on the option, or rather double click. Double click. So now it takes me into a place where I can enter the transaction. Let it open up. Just hold on. So even before we reach a stage where we need to enter the journal voucher, there are so many things forming the base for the for the finance model. Right? What happened? See, this is the place where I enter the general voucher or the journal voucher. Can you see the company code? So as I said, for each and every transaction, please mark my words, for each and every transaction, you will have to mention as to which company code you are affecting. Normally, SAP opens the company code. The recently worked upon company code, it will open on its own. But suppose GM01 is not the company code I want to enter data. I want to enter in some other company. How do I change it? I go to see this particular thing, but I'm telling you how the navigation should happen within the SAP system. And please, for the newcomers, please It is not as simple as you think. Until and unless you get used to this navigation, you will not find the system to be user friendly. Okay. Now, if I want to change the company code, please do not worry. I'm going to enter all this information when I'm doing a topic called as document. On purpose, I didn't explain as to what is a document because it comes at a later point in time. All right. Now, I will change the company code. So in which company code should I enter the data? Can you see next to the highlighted portion, there is some icon. This is your search icon, search button. This is also equivalent to your F4 function key. Click on this button. It will open out the list of all the company codes. Can you see on the right? 0001, 0004. And we have come to a very, very interesting place where you will always find the 0001 as the standard company code in any of the SAP systems you open across the globe. Clear? This is the standard company created by SAP itself. You need not have to create this company code. Similarly, you have company code 1000. I don't know if 1000 is there. See, this also is one of the standards. Clear? And as you can see, the name is SAP AG. Normally, as a standard practice, we do not make use of this particular company code for any transaction. This company code is only as a standard template, nothing more. You are supposed to avoid entering transactions in this particular company code. Now I'll just take an example. Probably instead of GM01, where is GM01? Is there GM01 here? So for me to look or search for my company code, I use this binoculars, find. Can you see the find icon? I click on this and go to my company code. Not a problem. Not find from line. Not a problem. Now let me assume that I do not want to enter the data in this company code, but my company code is say 0511 or HP India Limited. So you should be a little surprised or a little confused as to what is a 022F, 0222. What is this ATM company? Why is it not with the same name? I will answer that question. So assuming that I want to enter into HP India Limited, I double click and again I click on enter. Now watch out for this space. You can see how GM01 gets changed to 022F. Why the specific naming conventions? I will answer a little later. I can click on enter or I can press the enter key on my keyboard. Can you see it has changed? So this is how I affect the transactions specific to that company code. So here HP India Private Limited is indicated by a code 022F. Why not 011F? Why not 01111? I'll answer that question. No problem. So this is where you need to enter the general ledger accounts. Can you see? There is a thing called as GL accounts. This is where I enter the GL account. So as and when I enter the amount, this portion gets updated. Total debit, total credit. And only when the balance is zero, the plus and the minus, they cancel out. Only then you will be able to save. Post. What is this post? Please make a note that this is an alternative term for you to save the transaction. So saving a particular transaction is called as posting in SAP. I have not carried out any postings. Do not worry, I have not entered any transactions. I have not entered any general ledger account. I'm just telling you how you navigate. Just hold. I do not have in, I'll change it back to GM01 now. I will change this company code back to GM01. Shall I do it? Again, I go back to company code. I type, or I can search also. Okay. GM01 and I enter. I can press enter, or I can also click on this option and enter. Now can you see it has restored to GM01. Clear? Don't worry. This may not be understood in the very first thing. So I want to exit out of this transaction. Now this is the place I enter the general or the journal voucher. Now I said there will be different places for the end users to enter their specific transactions. Now a user wants to enter a customer invoice. Where does he enter? He goes to accounts receivable. Previously, where was I? I was in the general ledger option. I picked up general ledger. Now I am picking up accounts receivable, because what is the idea? I need to enter a customer invoice, a sales invoice. Here again, I go to document entry. I go to invoice. Okay. I double click and I go to the sales invoice. Please do not worry of not understanding this. All right. See, what is the difference between the previous journal voucher screen and the sales invoice? The difference is a customer. Can you see the company code? Here again, I can go to the company code option and see it says switch company. Now, see, I need to enter the customer. The difference between the journal voucher and the customer invoice is this particular transaction will ask me for the customer information. Where do I enter the transaction? I enter here GL account, the amount. Don't worry, when we take up the AR topic, I'll be talking to you more on the screen. Don't worry. All I'm trying to tell you is how you need to navigate based on your requirement. It is not that I want you to carry out the transaction immediately. No, we have still not reached that stage. Now, how do I go to? So similarly, I go to accounts payable. If I want to enter the vendor invoice, the purchase invoice, I go to the accounts payable, go to document entry, click on invoice. See, now this particular transaction will ask me for a vendor. The journal voucher didn't ask me for the customer or the vendor. The customer invoice asked me for the customer details. The vendor invoice asked me for the vendor details. Clear? So this is how your SAP screen is designed. And this remains standard for any of the projects. I have not come across a requirement where the customer, the client, X Limited, for our example is X Limited or GM01, asking for a change in the screen. Now, on the right top, can you see something called as your FB60? The right top of the screen. FB60. Just hold on there. I'm going to exit out of the screen. What is this? This is a vendor invoice, correct? Now, I will open the customer invoice. Do you see FB60 or a different number? It is FB70. Now, what is this FB60? What is this FB70? I'll come to that. Now, if you open the journal voucher, you can see FB50. Now, what is this short forms FB50, FB60, FB70? These short forms, they are called as transaction codes in SAP. Clear? So how do I make use of these transaction codes? What is the use? Now, I'll open another transaction. Okay. Now I'll open general posting. Will it be the same transaction code? See, it is F-02. Clear? So each and every transaction, okay, each and every transaction will be having a transaction code. Now, why aren't you seeing the transaction codes here? Just make a note of the screen mentally. I will also try to open this particular screens with the transaction. Do not have to remember this. I will tell you. Okay. I'll go to more. Please do not try to understand this for now. What is my purpose? I want to show you I extracted the screens, right? I opened up some screens. Where do you see these codes? In the screen itself. Okay. Don't worry. Now I'm in the same easy access menu, but see the difference. I went to accounting previously, went to financial accounting, went to general ledger, went to document entry. Now can you see? Enter GL account. We were in the same things. Now you can see that each one of the transactions, they have the reference to the transaction code also. Do you have to remember all the transaction codes in your SAP career? The answer is no. Over a period of time, over constantly using the SAP screens, you will obviously get used to these transaction codes automatically. You do not have to put in an effort to learn this transaction. It becomes a part of you. Over a period of time, once when you spend more and more time in SAP, basically all these transaction codes will be remembered by you. It is out of practice, sheer practice. That's it. Clear? So how many transaction codes do you have to remember in finance itself? Thousands and thousands. So is it humanly possible? The answer is no. So now I will tell you why it is not humanly possible. Now, probably you may remember FB50, FB60, FB70, F-02. Clear? No problem. Very good. Now I'll open something, a report. Please do not. I'm only concentrating on the navigation side. I'm not here to drive home the transaction codes or anything like that. No. I want you to see the effort, what I'm trying to do in extracting the places where the user needs to go to carry out his specific activities. He cannot carry out in one particular transaction. That is exactly what I want to drive home. Nothing more. I do not want you to remember the transaction codes. Neither while learning, I do not, preferably, I would not want you to use a transaction code. Please open up the menu and learn. Just keep looking at the menu itself. That in itself is a great learning. Forget navigation within the SAP screen. Forget about it. No problem. Just forget about the transaction codes. Just open, close, open, close. Go to journal voucher. Go to customer invoice. Go to vendor invoice. Come back. Try to open it again. So this will familiarize you with the system. Now I'm going to see. Now I'm trying to. Will the transaction codes always start with an F? Basically, the simple finance transactions, they always open with a F. FB50, F-02, FBL3N, FBL5N. Okay, don't worry. Now I want to extract a report. Please do not try to understand the path or anything. It is not the time for you now. See, can you see? S underscore ALR underscore, you see a big number. Can you afford to remember this? This also is a transaction code. This also is a transaction code. All right. Now, what is the use of the transaction codes? How is it going to help you? Now, suppose I have used the SAP system for say 3 to 6 months or even 1 year. Now I'm quite familiar with a few transaction codes. I do not want to go to accounting. I do not want to go to financial accounting, then go to general ledger, then go to document entry. I do not want to do it. It is not applicable for you people. Please remember, okay, it is only applicable for people who have already experienced using the SAP system. Please do not try to follow this. You will have to open the screen like this only. Avoid using transaction codes. So I come here, correct? So why at all SAP has provided me with transaction codes? There is a blank box out here, the place where I'm moving the cursor. This is called as a command box or your command field. Now, if I enter FP50 and enter, or I can press the enter key on my laptop also. It will straight away take me into the transaction. Did you see that? So this is how the transaction codes help you. You do not have to navigate through the whole SAP screen. But as I said, this methodology is only and only when you are comfortable in navigating through the SAP screens. Not until then. Please do not follow the transaction code methodology to enter into the transaction. Open up the system. Clear? One more thing. I said each and every transaction, each and every screen in SAP is driven by a program. When we were discussing the role of an ABAPer, we discussed about it, correct? Where do I see which program is governing this particular screen? Go to the same place where you see the transaction code. Click on this. Now, can you see the program? There is a program SAP MF05A. And it also has the address of the system. Who's the user? Who's the client? Clear? So you saw some program ABCD. Fine. Now, I have just gone into some vague transaction. I want to extract some master data. This is a transaction code. Can you see? Is it the same program? Earlier you saw that was SAP F some 50 something. Can you see the program here? You see a difference? So each and every screen you open up in SAP will be having a program governing that particular screen. Yeah. So we have tackled this. All right. So is it the same program? Obviously not. So whenever you want to change this particular report, I need to sit with the ABAPer and make changes to this program. He will create a copy of this and then work on the copy, not directly on this program. I think I have already told you the repercussions as to why we do not directly work on the program. We create a copy, then make changes there. Now did you understand? Now are you able to understand how the system is designed? So this is how you see the different parts and of SAP, and this is how you reach, you open up, you give the user ID, you give the client, you give the user ID and the password. And the first screen which opens out to you is your SAP Easy Access. And I showed you a few parts of your SAP Easy Access screen. All right. Where basically I said that this is the place where the end user spends most of his time. Got my point? This is your SAP Easy Access. Of course, we are going to have a look at it many more times. This is just for you to start getting warmed up to use the SAP system and to familiarize yourself with how you need to navigate. Did you find the navigation to be easy? Believe me, probably some of you may have challenges to navigate comfortably. At least for a couple of times, you will definitely have some or the other issues. And it is normal. Please do not feel that it is nothing to do with your capabilities or anything. No, it has got nothing to do with it. All it needs is you need to spend some time on the SAP system to feel comfortable working here. Clear? Madam, do I see any questions already?
Yes, sir. Two questions were there.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, in the published, okay, I'll mention it. If manufacturing location is in multi-state, so how the book of expenses and purchase bills? It's not clear. The question is not clear.
So here, probably he may be talking about the different. Okay, and probably I can answer this question. So if at all the production units are located at different geographical locations, how would you create the organizational structure? Obviously, you will be creating number of plants, plant 1, plant 2, plant 3, plant 4. So you'll be having those many plants in your organizational structure. That is it. You may be having one in Mumbai, one in Delhi, one in Kolkata, one in Bangalore. No problem. So the expertise here lies with the consultant. How conveniently in the sense, how easily or how comfortably can the organization work, and how should I design that particular org structure? That should be the thought process. If I design it this way, will the organization be comfortable? Or if I design it the other way, will it be more comfortable? So I need not have only one company code. My project can have, see, there was a project where we supported 23 countries. There was one telecom project on which I worked where we had 23 company codes. All right. So it is the way you design the SAP system. I hope I have answered this point. Yes, madam.
Yes, sir. Then there is one more question. What about consolidated financial statement preparation?
Yes, that's a very interesting question. Now, okay. Consolidation, right. Can we take up this question after a short break, madam? We'll break by 12 noon.
Yes, sure.
Okay. We will definitely start the post break session with this question. But in the meantime, if you have any other questions, please let me know. In the morning, whatever we have done pertaining to that. So we will definitely look up consolidation. That should not be a problem. Okay. Now, I said there was an other screen called SPRO. That is totally the role of a consultant. Now you see the difference. Now see how I enter into that consultant space. Okay. Now I am still in the easy access, as you can see. I enter SPRO. SPRO. Where am I entering? I'm entering in the command box and enter. It will take me into a totally different screen. It will take me into a typical consultant screen. And students, probably, I'm not very sure if you will be given, just hold on. I don't know if you people would be given access to your SPRO, but anyway, since we have already started, let me log into the system again. Madam, you're still able to see my screen, na? SAP screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I will enter the transaction code SPRO. And what is the objective of this? I want to enter the space of the consultant. Click on enter. Now can you see the whole look of the screen changes. Now I go to SAP reference IMG. IMG stands for implementation guide. Okay. I can also call this as SPRO screen or the consultant screen or the IMG screen by whatever name you are comfortable with. No problem. I don't know if you will be given access to this. Your role or your job is to have a look at more of the easy access. I'm simply bringing you here just to trigger more and more interest and explain what is SPRO and see. Has the option changed? Options have definitely changed, right? Because see now, instead of easy access, it says display IMG. So this is typically the role of a consultant. This is a typical consultant screen. All right. Now, and I don't know, once again, if you would be given access to this. Now, in the live project, how will the consultant work? Here, in this particular screen, whatever consultant is, he could be a consultant, material management. He could be an SD consultant, sales and distribution. He could be a production plant maintenance. But since I am a financial consultant, I would go here. Now you see the nature or you see the options. It is totally different. This is the place where the consultant designs the SAP system. Clear? And this is how the consultant screen looks like. Now, as a consultant, what would I want to do? I carry out some changes here based on the requirement of X Limited or GM01 in our live example. I want to test whatever I have done here. I want to know if at all I have done the things which is required by GM01. So I need to go and test in the easy access screen. So how do I open another easy access? And these screens, whatever you're seeing, they are alternatively referred to as sessions. Sessions. OK, so if I have a session opened in IMG and I want to test if whatever I have done is up to the expectations of GM01, what would I do? Can you see that there is an option right corner called as new GUI window? If I click here, it will open another screen in the easy access mode. I'll just check if you are able to see the easy access. Yes. Now, can you see that I have opened the session in the easy access mode? Now, ideally, how many sessions do I have? How many screens do I have open? One in the easy access mode. The other one is in the consulting screen mode, SPR. Where do I see how many screens have I opened? How do I have a look? Right bottom. Can you see the icon? Can you see the two screens? Madam, I hope you are able to see the two screens below, IMG and the SAP Easy Access.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
So this is how I come to know how many sessions I have opened at one point in time. Clear? Yes. Madam, we can take a break and come back by 12:15 or something. No, 12:05, no, 12:10. 12:10 we can come
Yes.
back.
Yes. So students will be taking a short break now of 5 minutes and will be back by 12:10. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Yes, sir. We can resume, sir.
Sure. Yeah. So, as I said, after the break, we are going to take up the question of consolidation. All right. So how does the consolidation happen? Good question. To facilitate consolidation of the financial statements, all right, I will bring in another entity in the organizational structure called company. It is not the company code, it is the company. Confusing? I'll explain. Now, let us assume the business of Tata. Tata and Sons, under which so let me take up an example of the Tata and Sons Tata business. What is Tata and Sons here? It is the head office. So all the businesses, they are generating their financial results independently. Correct? Correct. So these entities, they become the, what do they become? The company codes. Clear? Tata and Sons, they become the head office, and they can also be called as a group, whatever, Tata Group, whatever. You will have to define this head office as a company in SAP. It is nothing but this also is not mandatory. Only when there is a concept of consolidation, you require the concept of company. Company code should be there to start your financial activities. Company code is the mandatory creation, but creation of all other organizational elements is not mandatory. So you need to create a company called as Tata and Sons in SAP and set up a relation between the head office and the company codes. The other technicalities of consolidation I will explain when I take up the general ledger accounting concept. But as far as the basic requirement is concerned, this is what a consultant creates or configures. So once he understands, who the consultant understands that there is a requirement for consolidation, he will always try to bring in the company, concept of company. What is a company? Company is nothing but in the regular English, it is nothing but your head office to which all the branches, what by whatever name you may call them, they are they are actually submitting the results to the head office. Clear? So where do we see this in SAP? Can I take you there? Okay, just hold on. Since we have already spoken up, let me take you there. You may be interested to see that also. I'm logging in. Don't worry, I will show you the process of login over and over again. You can ask me any number of times. I will share the SAP screen now. I hope you're able to see the SAP screen. So can we create these entities in the SAP Easy Access screen? What are we talking about? We are trying to imagine a scenario where there is a concept of consolidation. All right. I want to understand if I can create these particular entities in the Easy Access screen. The answer is no. I need to get into the consulting screen, which is my IMG or SPRO. Enter. It will take me into that particular screen. Now here, see the difference as to how I navigated in the Easy Access screen and how I'm going to navigate here. Okay. Enterprise structure. You do not have to do all this. Please do not venture out to this particular screen unless and until you are very, very sure. I'm just showing it to you because there was a question and I wanted to tell you about this. Definition. Financial accounting. So why is it in the financial accounting? Because it is the job of a financial consultant only. No other consultant is responsible for creating either the company code or the company. Now do you see two options? Define company, edit, copy, delete, check company code. So now are we clear that these two are two different entities? Clear? So defining a company by the consultant is a different job. Only and only when you have the concept of consolidation, we are going to create a company. Else, no. We can be happy by creating only the company code. Okay. Now, see there I had arrow marks to get into the transaction. I had something called as an arrow marks. Is there an arrow mark here? So how do I enter? I click on this clock button. You see the clock button? This is your function F8 key, or you can simply click here on the clock. What does it do? It takes me into the defining of this particular entity. What have we clicked on? Define company. So here I am going to define the head office. So this is how I also create these particular entities. Clear? So how does the consultant create a head office? He would have gone to new entries and he would have defined a head office. So I can give the code as
Sir,
yes, madam.
sir, you're still on the ERP screen, no?
No, I have gone into the.
No, sir, that screen is not visible.
Okay.
Easy access is there, no, sir? Easy access screen is there.
No, I have already gone into the SPR.
No, sir.
Okay,
it's
I'll
not
revisit,
showing.
madam. Not a problem.
Yes.
Not a, yeah. So probably you are in the screen. Now you are in the IMG screen, madam. Can you see something called as IMG?
No, sir, it is not showing anything. Screen is freezed only there.
Okay. I think now it should be clear.
Now it's visible. Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Perfect. So what did I do? SAP took me into the easy access screen. There in the command box, I entered SPRO and it brought me into the screen. Now, where do I see the company and the company code? I am not very sure if you'll be given access, but even if you're given the access, please do not try to create anything new. It is not permitted. Okay, please do not try to create anything on your own. I want you to understand how the things are flowing. Okay, so here I go to the enterprise structure. I, as a consultant, I'm talking about myself as a consultant. Okay, definition. You don't have to do anything of this. No. But whatever I showed you, that ARAP, invoice and thing, that you must remember, but may not be this. Don't worry about this. Okay. Financial accounting. So now you already have two options. Option 1 is define company. Option 3 is edit, copy, delete, check company. So there is a place where I create the head office. There is a place where I create the other business entities, company code. So how would I define? See now, there were arrow marks in my easy access. Now can you see there are no arrow marks? I need to click on this clock button, which is your execute button, which is your function F8 key. Click here. It takes me into a place where I can see the, just like you had some codes GM01 and all, you can also see the codes set up for the head office. Now I will create. Okay. I'm not going to. Madam, you are able to see I'm typing in Tata HO.
No, sir.
Oh,
Not visible.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
So every time I need to. Okay.
Now visible, sir.
Yes, madam. So once when I clicked on that option, define company, it brought me here. When I executed that option, it brought me into this. Clear? Now I would create something. Please you do not create Tata and Sons. See, you should understand. Now, for the city and other things, it is plain. See, you don't see any other icon next to that particular field. And all this in your SAP terminology, they are called as fields. Okay? You don't see any other, it is just plain. But when you come to the country, there is an additional icon. What did I say this was indicative of? This is your drop down. Drop down in the sense this particular field has already some data. So here, where am I clicking? The country. And if I click on this, this is equivalent to your F4 function F4. And in English, I can also call it as a drop down menu. So when I click on this, you can see the list of the countries. You can see that. You can see the list of countries. So many countries have been defined. So let's not get into who has defined and what. OK, I will simply pick up India. So where do I search for India in such a huge list? I go to this find. Click there and type in my country, India, and I would click on this binoculars. There is an icon you can see. Click here, or you can press enter also, not a problem. So it takes me into my search field, India. So India is defined by the code IN. You can also see this icon in the next field, language, because SAP has defined the countries, the languages, the currency. It has already defined all the global languages, the global currencies, and the global countries. So you do not have to create a new country or a new language or a new currency. No, you do not have. OK. Language also you can see. Click on the button or you can press F4 also. Not a problem. Either of the options. Just hold on. It is opening up. Are you finding the things interesting? You may find it a little complex, not to worry. So here, English is already there. EN, denoted by the code EN. Can you see where I'm moving the cursor? Just hold on, let it finish. Normally, this software is in the German language. SAP, since it's originated in Germany, you can all see German is the what is that? It is the base language. Okay. What is happening? Just hold on. Also get used to all these things because the server sometimes may be a little slow because many people may be operating on the same server. All right. So there could be a performance issue, not a it can happen even in your live projects. Please be very sure about it. Okay. It is not typical to maybe say one project or two projects. It may happen even in any number of projects. What is happening? Okay. Double click. So it has taken English. The currency also, they are actually predefined. Whatever is your international currencies, you can see a huge list. Can you see? I'm just scrolling down, scrolling down. So here I can also search for my currency, India, Indian rupee, denoted by INR, Indian rupee. And I can also press enter or I can click on this binoculars. It will take me into that particular search entity, Indian rupee. All right. Now I would save the data. The floppy icon is your save data. So just remember, I have defined as TATAHO. How many characters? 6 characters. Just bear this in mind. Because when I'm defining, when I'm taking you to the company code, it cannot be 6 characters. It can only be 4 characters. Okay. Save. As a consultant, I would say, can you see left down below? Data was saved. There is a message. So what has happened? I have defined Tata and Sons with the code TATAHO. Normally, it is not like this in your live projects. Your head office. Yes, madam.
So the screen is freezed again.
What is it showing, madam?
Just a moment.
I'm in the same screen, madam. I'm in the same screen.
Okay, in the same screen only. Okay.
I'm in the same screen.
Okay.
Okay. So normally, both your company codes and your company, they are defined by numbers. Normally, we as SAP professionals, we use numbers. In your live projects, you do not define your head office like this. Okay, it could be a number. But the maximum characters allowed for you to define a head office is 6. Again, it could be a mix. It could be purely alphabetical, purely numbers, or it could be a mix match. It could constitute both your numbers as well as alphabets. So after finishing off defining my head office, I would exit out. Can you see the exit at the right corner? Exit. Please do not press this X. It'll exit out of SAP itself. It'll ask you whether you can log off. So I would exit out of this operation. It'll bring me back to the SPRO screen. Let me just check if you are seeing the SPRO screen. Oh, you're still in this. Oh, okay. Madam, I'm just sharing the screen.
Okay, sir.
So you're able to see the SPRO screen, madam?
No, sir. Now it's not shared.
Now it's not shared. Okay, I'll reshare it, madam. Where is this? Yeah, now you can, I think now you're able to see that, right?
Yes, sir. Now visible.
Now I have defined Tata HO. Now, please, you do not try to define any new company code. This is just as an example. That's it. Here is the place where the consultant creates a company code. What is the company code? It is your legal entity. For example, your TCS, your Tata Automotive, Tata Cars, whatever. Okay. So I click on this execute button. It will take me into a space where I would have to create a company code. I'm not going to show you this process because you're not supposed to do it. Anyway, I'll just ensure if it's the same screen. Okay, perfect. Now, I will go to the second option because I'm not going to create anything new. I'm not going to create a new company code. I'm going to search for the company code which I have already created. Oh, I'm still in that. Okay. So now I'm in the option where I would want to have a look at the company code GM01, which I have already created, or rather somebody has already created. Can you see the company codes are denoted by 4 characters? As I said, your head office has 6 characters. Your company code has 4 characters. SAP allows you a maximum of 4 characters to define your company code. Now, how do I look for my company code? Can you see this position? The left bottom. Click on this position. My company code is GM01. It is out of practice that I'm remembering my company. Okay. And I click on the enter. So can you see? There is already a company code GM01. So you also have GM02, correct? I just came here to ensure that the company codes are created. Now, let me assume a situation where they are reporting to the Tata HO. Please do not go by the names, General Motors. I'm just giving you a business example. All right. Okay, I have come out of the screen. Now I am in the SPRO screen. Okay. Now, how do I tell the SAP system that GM01 is the company code and it is talking to some head office? In my case, let me assume that Tata HO is the head office. As I'm always stressing, please don't go by the name logic. Okay, it will not be like this in the projects. Even your company code will not be defined as GM01. It will be numeric. Okay. Now, as a consultant, how do I ask the SAP system to understand the relation between the company code and the head office? assignment. See, all these are happening in the IMG screen. You absolutely have no job here at all. It is only the job of a consultant. So go to assignment, financial accounting. Now can you see you have an option assign company code to company. Can you see this? I execute this option. Now, in which screen am I in? Okay, I will share the screen. All right. Now, can you see? I see the company code on my left and I see the reference to the head office on the right. So what is my objective? I want to connect GM01 and GM02 to Tata HO. Okay, as far as the names are concerned, this is just to exemplify the concept of your head office and your company code. Okay, I will again search for my company code GM01. Enter. Are you able to see this? All right. Okay, fine. Now I have already set a relation to something. But now let me assume that this was blank. GM01 and GM02, they are reporting to Tata HO. So how do I set the relation? I would give Tata HO. Did you understand now how I set the relation between the company code and the head office? So as far as your consolidation concept is concerned, this is the first step what a consultant does. He creates a head office and he creates the other business entities falling under the Tata head office or whatever, under the head office. There are other things also which I need to talk about when we talk about consolidation, but that I am not going to talk about it now. I will talk about it when I deal with a topic called as general ledger, because there has to be something done there. Okay, so but this is the first step. You have set up a relation between your head office and your company code, and I save the information. In this case, I may not even save. That should be still okay. Okay, this is the first. I came here because there was already a question as regards consolidation. I can save the data, not a problem. There's no harm. So if my data is perfect, it is going to save without any errors. It says data was saved. Clear? I hope I have answered that question as regards the consolidation is concerned. But there are still some things more which I'm going to talk at the appropriate time. The consolidation doesn't end here. There are still some more settings which we need to do. But this is the first and the foremost step what a consultant does to address the consolidation issue. Okay. But as I said, creation of a company, creation of the head office is not mandatory as far as this specific course is concerned. Or as a matter of fact, even the functioning of the SAP finance module, creation of a company is not at all necessary. Creation of a head office is not necessary. Clear? Now, let me share the, okay, I'll exit out of SAP. I'll log off. And if I require, I'll log in again. Not a problem. Have I opened the course content? Yes, it is there. Okay.
So your screen is not shared, sir.
I'm about to share it. I'm about to share. I have switched on from SAP to the course content. Now you're able to see the course content, madam?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So we have seen all this now. I entered client number 900. I gave, and students, this is exactly what your course content talks about. You give your user ID and your password. Okay. Then I'll move on. Oh, I need to give. Okay. Not a problem. Okay. So the previous screen was this. So once I gave the relevant information, what you saw was you enter into an easy access screen. So this we have seen practically. So you can go to the demonstration and your practice. I leave it to you because we have seen this practically now. So I don't have to visit the demo and the practice because we have seen this in the live SAP system. So we have understood what is this command field. All right. So one by one, we'll have a look at this. Okay. Okay. And okay, let me go ahead. Role based. I'll definitely come back to that screen. You have some concept called as favorites. What is this favorites? Now, let me assume a scenario where I'm a end user in some department. Let me say in the consolidation department or in the AR department or in the asset accounting department, whatever. Now, I do not want, I would not be interested to look at the SAP screen pertaining to the other modules. I'm not interested, or to the other area in finance only. I work for asset accounting department. I'm interested only to do that job because I do not have the time to peep into other departments. Okay. What do I do? So as you saw in the easy access, I'm an end user. Okay. I'm assuming that I'm working for the asset accounting department. So I do not want to have, I do not want to just go through that activity of opening the screen, go to that easy access, go to that accounting option, then go to asset accounting. I do not want to do that. So what is the solution that SAP has provided? Something called as a favorites. I will show you where the favorites are. SAP, I'm just logging in. Just give me some time. I have opened the SAP system. Now let me assume that I am working in the asset accounting department. I do not want to remember the transaction codes. I do not want to put in any effort to remember the transaction codes, but I want to do my work. How will SAP simplify my life? By creating or by providing an option to customize my menu, customizing based on my requirements. Now see how this menu is going to change. Now, what is assumption? I work for the asset accounting department, correct? So I'll have to look for the asset accounting department, financial accounting, and I'm in the what kind of menu? I'm in the end user menu. Please make a note of it. I am not in the consulting menu. Okay. Financial accounting, fixed assets, asset, create. So I am responsible for creating the asset master data. So did you see the steps? How many options I clicked to enter into this particular option? Now how do I customize the menu? I don't want to do all this. So SAP has given you an option. Please go through all this. Whenever you get the access, please ensure that you go all this. You go through all these options. So finally, I have reached a icon where it says add to favorites. What do I add to favorites? I click on this transaction. See, there is nothing up there. In the favorites, there is nothing seen. Favorites is blank. Can you see? I have nothing in the favorites menu. I want to make this as my everyday routine transaction. So I click on this particular option, go to add to favorites. Now see what happens to the menu. Concentrate on the favorites. I click on add to favorites. Now where is this option? It is here also, but it has come up in the main menu itself. So I don't have to scroll down. I don't have to go about clicking on accounting, clicking on fixed assets, coming nothing. I have brought in this particular transaction under my favorites menu, and I can happily carry out my activities like this. So how many ever transactions you want, whatever transactions you are authorized in your day-to-day work, you can create them as your favorites. Like the way I just showed. This is of a great utility, especially for the end users. Fantastic option. Because it could be very, very tedious for users to keep clicking on or remembering the transaction code itself. Correct. So there we saw FB50, FB60, FB70. Now it is AS01. Correct. So like this, how many transaction codes do I remember? And is it really required for me? Because my role is not to become a consultant. I'm just there as an end user. That's it. I'm heading a asset accounting department, and my job is only to do this. Correct? So like this, SAP allows you to customize the user specific menu by giving you a favorites option. So did you see how useful this was? Or rather how useful this is? Clear? So this is one other option of great utility. Madam, do I see any questions?
Yes, sir. One moment, sir. Yes, there are two more questions.
Yes, madam.
As an end user, can we create company or enter master list of general ledger account in case of new company?
Normally as an end user, this is not going to be your job. No, you cannot do it. And why you cannot do it? You're not supposed to do it, as simple as that. It is not your job. It is a job of a consultant, not the job of an end user. As simple as that. That's it. And believe me, you will not be even authorized to the transaction SPRO. You cannot even, that screen itself will be blocked to the end users. In the live projects, your SPRO option itself will be blocked. I will just show you an example. See, I will not be. See, I'm using another transaction code SU0. What this is, let us not discuss it. Okay, this is pertaining to some setting up of the users. I'll click enter. See, can you see the message? You are not authorized. Down below, you are not authorized to the transaction XYZ. So this is how your system typically will behave. You will be authorized to use only those transactions which your work demands, not any other transaction apart from that. This is typically a transaction pertaining to other thing. Okay, so see here, I'm not authorized. So every time, even if you give SPRO in your projects or in any of the live projects, probably you may get the same message. You are not authorized for transaction SPRO. Your transactions will be blocked. All right. Yes, madam.
Yes. Next question is, what is the difference between company code and country company code? And in what situation we use country company code?
Please repeat the question, madam. What is the difference?
What is the difference between company code and country company code?
Country
And
company
in,
code.
yes.
What is a country company code? Madam, I think I'm lost with this question because
Okay.
I don't know what country company code means.
Yeah, student, please clarify.
If he means between the company code and the company, company is the head office, whereas the company code is the reporting entity. So the company is the mother and the company code is the child. Reporting back to the mother. That's it. As simple as that. Country company code, I don't know, man. I'm not able to understand the question.
So next question is dark mode available on SAP?
Is
Dark mode. Dark mode.
well, I'm not aware of it. No, I don't know. Dark mode. Oh my God, I don't know. Sorry, I'm not able to answer this question. Dark mode. Okay. Let me look into it. Or just like, is he referring to the mobile thing? Yeah, the dark mode, what you set in the mobiles? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, student, please clarify this.
Probably he means that only, I guess. Okay. Yes, madam.
Yes, there is one question. I think so. Switching off screens you did, na, sir? Between ER2 and ER7.
Okay.
That one student wants the explanation again.
Regarding what, madam? Regarding?
Switching of the screens, sir.
Okay. So now I open an option, accounting, financial accounting. Madam, you are able to see the SAP screen?
Sir, only easy access screen is there.
Yes, madam. That is the screen where I am.
Yeah.
So now I'm in this option, general ledger. I want to enter a journal voucher. So I want to get out of it. Now you can see the option log off. Now I'll double click on this option and I want to enter a journal voucher. Now can you see I have exit and also log off. If I click on this X, it will pull me out of the SAP system itself. But if I click on exit, I will go out of this transaction, but I will still remain within the SAP system. Is this what the student wanted to know, madam?
Yes, sir.
So now if I want to log off of the SAP system, see, it will take me out of the SAP system itself.
The screen is not visible properly, sir. It's buffering it.
Oh, no, I'm in the same screen, madam.
But
I'm in the same screen.
okay, okay.
I'm in the easy access screen itself. So on the right corner, you see the log. So if I click, see what happens. It will ask me whether you want to log off from the SAP system or not. Clear? You're able to see the screen, madam? It says yes or no, log off.
Yes, sir.
So this is how you switch on and switch off between the transaction as well as SAP system itself. I hope I answered that question, madam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So one student, dark mode, that means as background will be in dark color and text will be displayed in white during at the mobile.
Yeah, just like the mobile. I could
Yes.
understand the question, but I was not very sure if he means that.
Yes.
Sorry, students, I have not tried this on the SAP system. I don't know if it is, could be, I don't know.
Okay, sir. That's it, sir.
Yes, madam. So we can meet by 2:05, madam.
Yes, fine.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay.
Yes. So students, that's all for today's morning session. So take a quick break and we'll be back by 2. Thank you.